Okay, are we live? Looks like we are. Hello, hello. We will start in a minute. We're gonna work on. We're gonna work. We're gonna work on the ground. It's a very. It's a topic that a lot of people misunderstand. And if you think about it, the ground is like how much percentage of the screen you see when you see the ground? Like 50%, 60%. I don't think it's less than 50, right? I can already see like probably 80% of all these assets. It's the ground. So I think it's important to work on it. It's really, really important. Let's start in a minute. Just a second. Should be really looking for a bot to doing this kind of stuff. Really should be looking for a bot. But anyway, let's get started. Quite a few things here. Quite a few things here. We have a big area of our level is the background. We're gonna have some walls here, but we're gonna worry about them later. For now, I'm worried about this thing, this ground here, because it is quite important. So I'm gonna do this. Let's try to find a. I think we have some material for the landscape. Let's go here. Where is my? I'm gonna put a color for this one. Actually, set colors here, just so that you can find your stuff really easy. Let's just go for, I don't know, maybe something like that. Horrible color. Let's change it. Ah, much better. Much better. So let's go to environment. Probably landscape main shader. And I think let's take a look at our other level to see which asset we're using. I don't know why levels is inside environment, but it is what it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, it is this one. So biome 01 looks fine to me. So let's go for this one, and let's just grab this material here. Now we need to create the assets for this, so it's gonna be very easy. Add only three layers. Interesting. Cool. So let's take a look at the colors here. Okay. It's this one, and the other one is... Okay, maybe we will change the biome later, but... Yeah, for now, let's keep it. Let's fill layer. Oh. Fill layer? Fill layer? Oh, there you go. So strange. Like, I don't want to use also the layers here for... This layer stack for painting, that one sucks. That one sucks. Because... I mean, technically you can use them, but when you have many layers, like you want to see like where you paint on what layer and what not, and it's just a mess because of the layer stack. Sometimes those paintings don't work as expected. Also, let's go here, enable nanite, and build the data. I don't know if we should be using it now, but get that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Especially because this landscape already give us a lot of macro detail, and when we zoom in, you see the small little details here. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's put this message log here. So first things first, we're gonna work on this elevation here. Very easy, very easy. Just gonna hide this. If you're wondering how I made the rest of the assets, take a look at the videos that I have on the channel. That's all the progress is there. Let me save everything. I don't wanna lose it. I don't wanna lose it. So check out everything. Yeah, so let's just go to the landscape and go to sculpt. We'll do a classic ramp here. It's gonna be like very small, very small. And we're gonna obviously change the width. I don't really need to change the width all the way. And also the fall off, you know, very sharp, just for now. Put like 0.1. No fall off, guys, no fall off. And after that, I'm gonna click enter, and just like that, we have a small ramp here, which we're gonna use for this part of the environment. I'm gonna move the line in here just so that you can see. There you go. So this area, easy. We're just gonna sculpt this. We're gonna flatten this. And the light help us to see like if we're doing it right or not. There you go. Now that we have this, just increase the size of this, and just paint the rest of the environment just like that. We don't have to apply it everywhere, but at least we're gonna apply it on. We're gonna start applying this to all the area here. All the area. And also I'm gonna take a look at lining only. Okay. And I just want to play the game from here, just to have a feeling of how it feels like. Let's remove this. We don't need this anymore. And we're gonna put the character here in other positions. Just like that. And yeah, let's try it out. Please don't crash. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Need to take care of this, but overall, I think it's a good progress. So one thing I want is to smooth this out because it looks very unnatural. Very unnatural. And I'm gonna pull the string. Just like that. Later on we can break things down. But obviously for now, we're gonna leave it like that. Just shift click, just like that. Don't worry about those details now, for now. And just smooth things out. Just smooth it out. Another thing you can do, let me try this. You can go for erosion, the threshold like this. I will actually give a really, take a look at the lining, how we break the lining here. This is pro tip, right here. This here, pro tip. Like, because what we had before was like a straight line, and now we're breaking it like more irregular, which will make the lining look much better. It may not seem like a big deal, but it is when you, or you can just also do the noise here, a little bit of noise. Normally I should bother about these details later, but also smooth things out because this thing is giving some lining artifacts. Let's take a look at the geometry. It's fine. It's fine. Much better. Let's try it out. Yeah, much more natural, for sure. So looks like we have an issue here. Let's go for a flatten and increase the brush size. If you got any questions, just let me know in the chat. I'll do my best to answer. Even if it's not related to exactly the, what I'm doing here, game development, anything really. For this one, maybe I need another asset. Actually, this works quite well. We could put like a ramp here for, eventually we will add more assets to connect those places where we can't reach. But for now, we will leave them like that. This part is really like, it's weird. It's very weird. We will leave it like that for now. Hello, Avion Sixes. How are you doing? Looks really good. I don't think so yet. Will look good. I hope so. I hope so. It's environments is like this. They look like crap at the beginning, and then they rise from the ashes. It environments is like this. I'm good. I'm good. Just had a very long day. I mean, I know it says 10:40 a.m. here, but that's because I have another time zone in my computer. In reality, it's almost 12 a.m. here. So it's been a long day. I model? No, no. These are assets from big, medium, small. I used to model a lot before. And I can tell you a story. Like when I start creating games, I will create everything by myself. And I think it's good if you want to practice. I think it's a good idea. It's a really good idea if you want to practice. But if you want to create a game, like one asset like this, for example, like back in the day when I was working at Ubisoft, we will do details like this. Like, for example, this dome here, we will model brick by brick here. Like, this is modeled by, not necessarily by hand, but there are a bunch of techniques you can do here, like displacement and a bunch of others. But we will pay a lot of attention to those details. Assets like this will take days, depending on the complexity, or weeks if it's like a big one. So if I do that here, I'm dead. I'm dead. Like eventually you want to break it down, but I don't model unless it's completely necessary. Otherwise, it takes time. It takes time, and now I'm more focused on the game. So yeah, I think this part is not gonna be. I think this part is not gonna be landscape. It's gonna be a set of staircase we can use to go here, probably. Let's try to duplicate this. But it was good experience for me. It was a really good experience. In my case, like I would uh, I will learn a lot during that time. Yeah, assets will take weeks to complete. And these big, medium, small assets, that's the name of the company that made them. And it's they're very good. They're very good. Like really production quality. Not like kind of good or no, these are usually when you find assets, it's like you find like quantity over quality. Usually that's the case. But not with these guys. Not with these guys. These guys, they know what they're doing. These guys, know their stuff. Yeah, I think learning to model is a good skill to learn. Definitely. I mean, if you want to model stuff, go for it. I think it's really good. It's really good. I find that maybe it will be easier to remove some parts that I don't want later on. Yeah, something like that. And we can flatten this out if we don't want it. We can also smooth things out, but let's hide this. And obviously we are deleting parts that we don't need. Hi Mohammed, how are you? What am I doing? I'm working on a game level for the game we're making. It's a tactical. Uh, it's a RPG strategy game, turn-based. Sometimes I get mixed by the words here, but yeah, it is a strategy game. It's a turn-based strategy, kind of like Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics. So it's a combination of a lot of things, but this one has a mix of action as well. A little bit of action. So yeah, it's it's quite uh, it's quite a good project to work on. It's quite a good project, definitely. Like it's really unique. I don't say that because I'm working on it. I'm saying that because uh, when you're making an indie game, it's it's very easy for you to take risks, and I feel that there are a lot of risks being taken here that I like. I like it. I like that a lot. I like that a lot of risks are being taken, and therefore there are a lot of cool features that the game has that normally usually you shouldn't. But like in a AAA company, you never see those. You never see those. It's like almost impossible. Probably we're gonna block this way anyway. Yeah, I like it. Let's try to move the light so we can see the forms better. I feel A lot of people are talking about indie games lately. Like a lot. Like just being like a huge disappointment from AAA games that are coming. And I think it's very similar to what's happening in the movie industry, you know? You don't see good old movies like before. They're all like money making machines. And this used to be art. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't like it that much. Feels very forced. Maybe probably smooth things out will help a little bit. Uh, let's try it out. It's not that bad. Not that bad. Take a look how it feels when I from up to down. This part feels weird, but I think we can delete those. You went to school for game development? Is that right? It's like game development school, right? Well, if you use assets from the store or not will greatly depend on how much time you have available. I know for myself that I don't have much time that I can use here. So it just makes sense to me that I don't waste my time modeling. But if you do have the time and you want to model some stuff because you feel like it's adding a lot to your game, I would say go for it. Low GBA? What is low GBA? I think I'm gonna move this thing here. Oh, I see. Grades from school. Honestly, with you, I always had very bad grades, my whole life. My whole life, and I was just studying things that. I'm a software engineer by trade, so I studied a lot of things that I don't use today. I certainly don't plan to use them at all. So it's just part of the system, you know. It's really part of the system that you. I don't know. I don't know. It's a. I don't know how to explain it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Like at the end of the day, all the stuff that you learn that is important to you, they don't put you a grade. Like when you do something, when you create a game like this, for example, they don't give you a grade. They don't tell you like, oh, um, like okay, like A plus or whatever. Just either it works or it doesn't. So, and that's real life. And honestly, a lot of companies also don't really care whether you know have good grades or not, especially game companies. Game companies are mostly like you either know how to do the job or you don't. And in big companies is especially like more is more oriented to specialization. Like that's what I did, for example. Like when I work for Ubisoft, uh, I I focus a lot on environment art, and that's the whole thing I did before going to Ubisoft because my plan. Sure, you can go here. My plan was to get a job as an environment artist in a AAA company. So I constantly needed to check what people were doing there. And yeah, it's just part of the process, you know. The fact that you need to check your skills and compare it with the market, what they're doing. And it's just about portfolio, you know. I'm sure a lot of people have said that before. I'm not the first one saying it. In fact, that's the advice that I used to hear the most when I was more of a student. Just focus on the portfolio and try to match as close as possible to the quality that the professional have. It is for any kind of discipline. Like for example, if you're a dancer, you either know how to dance or you don't. Doesn't matter about the title. People will see you and it's like, oh, this guy knows how to dance, right? He will get some he can get some students, he can work for a entertainment company or some performance or competitions, things like that. But it really like it's really it doesn't matter if like what title you have, you either know it or not. And people who really appreciate your skill set will tell you that we'll focus more on what you can do. But art is hard. Art is hard. I will say don't focus too much on the title because Like if I were to art, if I were to like go game art, this is a thing I was talking the other day in the other stream. Like to learn to draw, to paint, you need a tool, right? You need a pencil, you need a pen, you need a whatever is it that you're using. But you need to learn how to paint, right? That's it's pretty much a must, right? So of course the pencil is important, but it's not the most important thing, right? Because if you don't know how to paint, like it doesn't matter if you have the best pencil in the world, it won't work. So what really helps you is hidden in game off. What really helps you is actually just focus on learning those art foundation. Focus on learning all that art foundation that teaches you how to see the world, how to see the forms. When I see this, I only see shapes. I don't see windows, I don't see doors. I only see shapes, silhouettes, forms. And that's my canvas here. But in order to see that, you need a lot of training. This is the kind of thing you cannot skip. And a lot of tutorials you will find online, they are focused more on showing you how to use the pencil instead of teaching you how to draw. Like I know for drawing is very obvious, right? But when you work in a game, for example, like this one, and you want to learn how to use Unreal to create your game, then it's really hard. It's really hard to distinguish what you need to learn because it's not as obvious as painting. And all those tutorials online, both paid and free. Like free, you don't need to really free tutorials. You don't really need to care much because you're wasting your time maybe, but you're not wasting your money at least. But there are some paid tutorials there that they will just teach you how to use Unreal, and that's like teaching you how to use the pencil. And then you realize you don't know how to make games. Like you just don't know. And it's like, okay, I know all this stuff. I know what is a model, I know what is a texture, how to apply it, all those technical stuff that again, it's not that it's not important, because everyone knows that no matter how good an artist you are, without a pencil you cannot draw, right? But it's focusing on the art foundation will help you to model better. Focusing on like really nothing related to game development, just purely art foundation. Learn anatomy, learn how to copy, how to do paints, how to paint, like literally put a black and white picture. Like let's see if I can find a portrait here. Like literally go find something like this, put it next to you, and copy exactly how it is. And you will know how little about art you know. And if you cannot even copy what's in front of your face, how can you even create something from imagination? Like here, you will, in order to do this exercise, you need to check the values. What are the black areas? What are the white areas? You can easily see silhouettes within here. Like for example, all this can be a shape. Can you paint that? This is very easy. Just black. All this, your brain will try to separate like, oh, this is a hair. I only draw the hair. No, this part's pretty much same value. Same value here. Another shape. White areas here. Right? Shadows. Pretty much the same value. And you break down into puzzles. Like you just paint the same color. And when you know how to do this, you can make a picture like exactly the way you copy. Um, then you're learning. You're learning. You're training your eyes. You're training to see shapes. You're training to see small little difference, like the silhouette, like the lights and everything. Like this kind of exercise is very good for you. And then you go to model something, you will be amazed how fast, how easy it is for you to model. It's not about the tool, it's because the tools change. It's about your own judgment of things when you want to create something, either painting, model, sculpting, whatever it is. It's a visual piece of art. You apply the same foundation. Demanding jobs on remote for AAA companies? I'm not really sure about that. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure about that. I haven't really looked for a job in a long time. But I do know Ubisoft start applying a lot of mm, they start applying a lot of remote work since the COVID, and a lot of companies already adapt to that. So there should be, because when I worked for Ubisoft, I went to travel. They paid the flight ticket and everything to go China. And at that time, that wasn't very common to do remote work, but it will greatly depend on the company culture. They will specify like this is remote work or this is either remote work or you know in-house. They will specify it for sure. They will specify it, so don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, if either remote or in-house, it, they will all look into your portfolio and your projects, especially when you haven't landed a job before. That's where they care most, because you don't have the work experience. The first one is the hardest one. The first one is always the hardest one. The next ones is very easy because you already have the work experience. Most likely you finish a project, you can just show off that. But I mean, don't try to rush things. Like anything, everything takes time. And it's don't try to rush things. You will know when you can paint. You will know when you can code. You will know when you can model. You will know it. No, you don't need anyone to tell you you can do it. You will know it. Like, you will feel confident about yourself. You will. Don't try to rush things. It will happen. You will get good at it. You cannot stay at the same level forever. It's not gonna happen. Like, really, it's it's not gonna happen. You will get better, but you need time, and you need to like it. You need to like it. If you don't like it, it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard because you're gonna feel frustrated, and you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. Yeah, but it's a good thing you did in college for a lot of years. I think it's very important. Avoid any kind of game development program where it's like learn to use Unreal. Like, it's like saying learn to use a pencil. It's the same thing. A little bit more complicated than the pencil, but this kind of stuff, avoid it at all cost. At all costs, because they won't teach you what's behind it. Whereas, where you, like, for example, go to an anatomy course where I use, for example, ZBrush, like Scott Eaton, amazing teacher, enrolled his class many years ago. It's like anatomy course, and we are using this one. It's not like uh, it's a course on ZBrush or Blender. No, it's a course on anatomy, and it happens we use this tool. But these kind of uh, these kind of how to say courses are the best for you, but the ones that are like learn to use Blender, learn to use Unreal, avoid them. Just avoid them. No, don't do them. Don't do them. Just avoid them at all cost. ZBrush is super fun. Super fun. One of the best softwares out there, along with Unreal. It's really fun. Yeah, definitely. Like working on your own stuff, it's a valid option. Like it really is. Do not underestimate like the ability for work for yourself, especially when a lot of people are not hiring at this time. Like the game industry have hired so many people that they just they don't want to hire. So working for yourself is actually a option too, if you manage to pull it off. A lot of things you learn by yourself. Like obviously when you have someone teaching you that knows what he's doing and you just follow his steps, you learn much faster, right? But even when he teaches you, like when someone teaches you something, you have it in your head and then slowly you apply it. You don't get it right away. Like just because you watch a tutorial for I don't know how many like 10 hours tutorial, 1 hour, 2 hours, it's not gonna matter when it comes to the point of you know you doing your own stuff. But it is very easy when you know what to do. It really is. Like it becomes very easy to just forgot what I was gonna say. It's like I just enjoy the process. Everyone has their own process. Some people get it faster, some people get it slower. But in the end of the day, everyone gets it. And in the end, the thing that really will help you is not so much the fact that you're good at it, but now that you're good at something, how can you make yourself different from others? Because if you're in the mindset that I I need to get good at this, otherwise I'm not gonna have a job or whatever. Like, you're gonna fall into a trap where you can't win. You can't win. Let's try to make these things a little bit lower so that we can see the silhouette. If you're wondering why I put a material there for a placeholder, it's because I want to have an overview of the background. I don't want to... At this point, I try to avoid any kind of blockout. Like, I try to put as much information as possible. This thing, for example, we can take it out. Have a couple here. I think we can start working on it. There you go. Floor 2, I have two options actually. This one is floor B. I want to put floor A. I haven't used it very often, and I think it's really good. And then floor B, we're gonna use it here. Like, eventually this flatness, we're gonna break it down. For now, it's gonna stay like that. So remove this, and this one we may need another asset, so I'm gonna just leave it like that for now. Same as this one. I may need other assets to work on this, like some wooden planks or something like that. Okay, cool guy. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you got a good time, and good luck with the production stuff. Production is really tedious actually. It's very repetitive. It's like, oh my god, it's such a hard work. Such a hard work. We're gonna leave this one here, yeah. I would love to do a different shape for these walls, especially for this area. I don't really like this one. Like the initial idea was good, but I think I'm gonna flatten this. I'm gonna flatten this out. Flatten all this area. And then for smooth here. Now you could put a little bit of verticality here. Definitely. Definitely can do that. Yeah, much better. Much better. Like definitely having an open space here. Can put an asset here just to spice things up. But the good thing about working with these assets is that we can just do something like this and we block the way. It's the beauty of it. Sensational. I still put these walls because I need a I need a limit of where you can play the game or not. Why is this this is strange? I think these parts I can hide, like with some assets or things like that. So we're gonna go landscape and some smooth this area. Let's do a smooth criminal. Not bad. Now we need to work on the ground. I'm gonna stretch a little bit and come back. Okay. So let's work on the ground, because the ground is one of the most important part of your game. And we have been working on the ground, but technically we have just been laying the foundation for it. But if you think about it, in some games even more, but look at how much screen percentage the ground takes. Like from this angle, it's all this is the ground, so we need to make sure the ground is nice. Like a lot of people put attention on the walls and the props and everything, and then the ground is like whatever, right? We don't want that. I think we can do better. We can do much better. So let's take a look at the Megascans assets we have. First, let's take a look at brick here. To the assets, to see if there is an asset that we can use. Brick ground. Or really? I remember there was something here. It's not really on debris. It should be on the... Okay, let's create our own asset. Let's take a look at this one. This looks like it has potential because it has a lot of shapes. So let's start with this. Let's go here to modeling. Let's go for rectangle. And we're gonna click here. Accept. And we're gonna put the character here, just so that we know what's the size of this. And definitely we want it to be bigger. So let's do it again, one more time. Maybe 400 by 400. Let's take a look. Yeah, that seems pretty fair. So let's just put a material here. Let's go modeling. This is a trick. It's very common actually. Used to be more of a hidden gem before. I used this since 2021, I think. Deform displays. We're gonna use this one here. We're gonna do texture 2D. Go this one. Oh, virtual texture must be... Oh. Okay. Okay. Let me just duplicate this one. Temp. It's gonna be temporary, because I don't want to change the original one. Otherwise, I'm gonna mess up with the Actually, I'm gonna call this here. I know I need to delete it later. Okay. This is just convert to regular texture. Okay. And let's just go displacement here. There you go. Let's put like 40, 50. 100. Now, what I don't like about this is that we can change it later. Let's try it for now. Let's try it. Let's go accept. And let's simplify this. Something like that could work. And also let's go to the form. And go lattice. And let's cubic. So that we have a little bit of extra space to working on the middle. Just put it like that and see how it looks like. Not bad. Not bad at all. Like if we rotate this, I think it's working. It's working quite well for us. So a few things we will do. A few things we will do. First one, I'm gonna simplify it even more. So let's go here, modeling, mesh, simplify. Maybe that's too much. 80. Actually, let's leave it like that. And if we need to simplify it later on, we can change it. So this one will be my SM ground brick 01. There are a bunch of ways we can go about adding some details to the ground here. For now, let's just find a place for this to be. It's gonna be here. Move here. Eventually, when we add more assets, we will move it into different categories. Okay, now that it's here. What is this? Oh, okay. I know what is that. A few things I will do. First, it's gonna put the same material here. It has to be the same one. Okay, beautiful. 100,000 polygons for this one. It does a little bit too much, but we will overstand for a while. We will. Collision, project default, and just do a auto convex collision here. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And obviously enable nanite and apply changes. There you go. For the shaders, and we're good to go. I'm not exactly sure if we need to add collision for this one, but in any case, let's go and try to like this will add a lot of noise, right? Definitely. So what if go here and put it like this? Let me take a look at how this feels. Yeah, so definitely this is a lot of noise, which is fine. We need noise. This wall, not really. We're not gonna use this one. Barbecue beef, what is this? Brick ground. And let's go for surfaces. And we need to find kind of an organized brick structure. This is very, very useful actually. This brick, I guess. We will see. Brick floor, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I like this one. I'm gonna save this. I think we can try with this very clean ground. I kind of like it. We will try. We will try for sure. Let's add it. I think it's gonna work. Depending on how we use it. because I want to have some organized structure here for the bricks and some chaotic structures too. So let's try it out. How about this one? Ah, not now. This is very organized. Very organized. Let's see if we can get away with this. Form. Displace. Go here. Look at that. Wonderful. Wonderful. And obviously we will also do a lattice 3 by 3 by 3 cubic and move it up a little bit. Move it up. Except I can also go for a little bit of a 4 by 4 by 4. Even 5. Just to move everything there. Now we can try that. And obviously we will then simplify it. By 50%. Looks like a decent number. And yeah, I think before we do anything, let's try it out, but let's remove the collision for now. And enable the nanite. And obviously put this one here. So this one, let's try it out here first. Yeah, definitely much more organized. Definitely. And we can rotate this 90 degrees. And we can kind of like create paths with this. For example, here. Very cool. Very cool. I'm definitely keeping it. So let's save this. Let's save this as I think it's ground brick, the one we're using. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Okay, so let's put it here. Architectural elements. The thing about these assets that are in a big project, they need to be very organized. Very organized. So for this, we're gonna go here. And we're gonna start creating some assets here. Actually, do something like this and it will tile perfectly. Who will have noticed? What if we just go here? Yeah, I don't really want to go that route. So let's just go here. Let's just try. Let's try to create like a group we can use. Like a big one. And later on we can break it down into like smaller assets or things like that. But for now, I have that big picture here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go that way. Let's see where we can use this. Yeah, definitely has its uses, so let's just go for this group. Let's just go here and save it here. Zero 02 A. And then we're gonna create another version of this. Like once you have these assets, it's just really, really easy for you to decorate the whole environment. But first, let's go on brick number 2. Let's try to put it in position here. Like the whole idea of these groups is that just speed up the process, and then you break it down into, you know, more use like they don't really look great at the beginning, but that's why we create those blueprints, because we can update those in the future for something like add a little bit more variation, like a little bit more of a randomness coming from the bricks and everything. It's a little bit of everything. And this will be like our organized brick, right? It's gonna be, yeah. That's brick 1, brick 2. And then we're gonna go for the unorganized one. Just this one. So for this one, I wanna work on this one here. So let's keep it like that. Just try to be a little bit wild. Not so much of and I can even uncheck this, so I can reduce the size a little bit if I want it. Something like this. And maybe a couple more. Yeah, something like that. So we're gonna get all of those. So it's all this. Perfect. We're gonna go here and create back level actor. This one's gonna be 0, 1, A. And here on the blueprint is gonna be like this. Okay, so that's the first one. I don't really want to put assets on the level just yet, just because when we move things, it's gonna be really hard. So just bear with me for the moment. Looks like the chat got disconnected. I just got it back again. You're working for a little group. As a freelancer, I'm the most experienced one on the team, and then give me a concept title to make a map. I'm trying to do my best. Get stuck with reference because it's a little unique, and the deciding process is killing me. You know, that's why I hate working for someone. I mean, this is one of the reasons. Communication is a big part of, you know, whether you have a good time or not with your team. Like really. And like you want to ask a lot of questions, and unfortunately, there are times where they are not really, they don't really know what they want. That's the truth. Sometimes they don't really know what they want, or they don't know how to express it. Maybe they don't know much about design and you're speaking a different language. So it is really important that you guys try to find a common language. Like that's the main thing. Like some people speak like in a more technical way, some people speak in a technical way but from other area. So for example, if I say to you like this has too much noise, let's reduce it a little bit. What does noise means to you, right? Like for me as someone who has studied art, I know what you mean. I know what noise is. I know exactly what it is. But if a person who doesn't haven't really studied art, and then you say to him, there is too much noise here, can you fix it? He's gonna be like, what do you mean? Right? So try to find a common language. Try to find a way to communicate with your team. And obviously, it's not easy. Communication is a big part of game development. Sometimes even more important uh, than making the game itself. Can have really a lot of. Eh? Deleted file? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I guess I will check in the future. But anyway, deciding process is killing you. That's definitely what it is, right? So it's just it's communication, but it's not like you guys don't know what to do, right? It's just that you're just speaking another language, which is it's common. It's this kind of thing happen. This kind of things happen. Ooh. Oh, navigation is gonna be really heavy on this one. So now that we know like the triangle count here, which is fairly big. Let's check for deleted file. Oh, I don't have connection. I'm gonna close this and open again because this one is quite important. So usually when there is problems communicating, it's because you're speaking different languages. Like you as the, you know, I guess you're working on the levels and they give you a concept. You have your own language. If you're working solo, then what's the issue? Just do what you feel it works, and if it doesn't work, You will learn by force, by experience, that what didn't work for you, there was a reason for that, right? Just don't be so afraid. I mean, just try to relax a little bit, because you're just making games. No one's gonna die here. It's not like you're a doctor or something. You need to do some surgery, or you're a pilot. Things like that, where it's just, just make the mistake, and you should be in a good spot. You should be in a good spot. Like, start with the big ones, and then we will take a look at the small ones. The big one, if the big one is too much, we will change it. Yeah, I mean, if you make a level that looks bad, you will know later. Like, no one is perfect, man. No one is perfect. Like, even in AAA, like there's so many like things like this where things just don't work the way they should. And that's just part of it. It's really just part of it to just play with that. And if it doesn't work, like, they should give you a really good reason why it doesn't work, right? It's not like they should give you a good reason why some things don't work. And if you understand that, then you can fix it. But rarely you will get it right the first try. Rarely that happens. And a lot of times you're working on something, like, you just you see things differently when some time passes. You know what I mean? Different point of view, different experience, And especially when it's art. Art is hard, man. Art is really hard. So don't beat yourself to death for a small mistake. Everyone's been there. No one's perfect. And for this kind of thing, if you want to just hide some areas, just do something like this. You don't really need to change the asset. It just works very well. And this line for sure you wanna avoid. This repetition. Break it a little bit. Something like that. And obviously we need to take care of this part because that's one of the most important parts. You go here. Break it up a little bit. Wonderful. You know, the ground is one of those assets that it's highly underestimated. Very underestimated. Like, a lot of people pay attention to the props, to the walls. You know, things. You can say that everything is important to some extent, but some things just aren't. Some things just aren't. For a game like this, the ground, very important element. Just break it down. Just like that. Especially here. Especially here. This is a very empty area. We want to make sure we're using all our assets here. This line, for sure, we're gonna smooth. something like that. And save this. Like this area is very flat, but you can always put a small asset here, like a tower or something, and it's pretty much done. Let's have a try how our game feels from different corners. And one thing I would do before doing that, it's go here to my landscape and do a rebuild data. There you go. Like this part definitely needs some assets. I think we're being too conservative with the ground. Yeah. Too conservative, especially in this area, this big open area. Let's just go here. Hello. Yeah, I will add more things little by little. Yeah, definitely something like that. I mean, I cannot add exactly that because it's not in the context of the environment that I'm making. But definitely we'll add more stuff. Definitely. And let's try this one. I don't think this color is working for us, but we'll try. We will try. This area is like very hard to decorate. Let's just see how it feels. I don't really like the noisy one that much. Maybe it's the color. Maybe it's just the color. Like it blends really well with the ground, but not with the other brick. And we need to separate the colors. Definitely a darker color for the ground and a lighter color for the walls. It's what we need. So let's just go here and try to look for the mega scans. Yeah, definitely we'll add more assets. Like what you say totally makes sense. I think it's a good point. I'm mostly working on big assets now, like the big foundation. And later on, I will work on this, on those medium and small elements of the scene. That's why it feels a little bit weird, because it doesn't have points of comparison in the ground. I think I like this, but when it's like blending with this color is okay. Yeah, this color is fine. I like this, but when it blends with this. So we're gonna combine those two. Yeah, at the moment, just focus on the big elements, and then we're gonna add those details at the end. Like this one, for example, is like very empty, so definitely gonna try those later. I like to think it like in a way like if this was a painting, like for example, like when you paint something, you don't necessarily have like a plan, if you know what I mean. You just see, and little by little you fix your paint, and eventually, like if you work long enough in the painting and you know what you're fixing, you will have like a piece. Art in general it's about polishing small details from your whatever is it that you're doing. I like that blending. Well, let's see if we can try to put it here. Like, I don't think so, but I guess it worth the try. Yeah, definitely worth the try. We can go here and usually I wouldn't bother with those details, but you know, I like this as a transition asset. You know, from organized to chaos. This is what you call noise, and this is what you call rest areas. What makes it a rest area? First, the colors is very plain. You don't have much information. The pattern is very predictable. So you know it's everything square. Whereas this one, the colors have more noise. The patterns are more unpredictable. So it's like you need to pay more attention to this. If you put a lot of noise in the scene, it will look really bad. If you don't put any kind of noise, it will look very plain. So it's a fine balance. It's a really fine balance between what to put there. Yeah, there is desolation in the landscape. Beautiful feature. Highly recommend you to try it out. Highly recommend. Yeah, definitely this one not what we're looking for. We're looking for something more organized. There is also a. What was the name of these bricks that are like in a circular shape? Forgot the name. Forgot the name of those bricks that are like in a. You know what I mean? Like they're like this. They're going inwards. It's also a good one. Also this one. I don't know if Megascans has it. I don't think so. Yes, cobblestone. Cobblestone. Yes, that's the name. This one is also very interesting, but it has very similar pattern to the texture I already have now. Oh yeah, this one here. Worth trying it out. It worth trying it out. Yeah, like this as well. Maybe this one is even better. We can try with this one. Yeah, there you go. Cobblestone. Let's try it out. What if I use the... If I use this one? Hmm. It's pretty much the same, to be honest. Or maybe not. And I think, like, if we... This is... When this is tiled, it's even more interesting here. Hmm. Yeah, let's go for this one. Let's do the same trick we had before. Convert to regular texture here. And remesh. Okay. Deform, displace. This one's here. Yeah. So let's accept, and then we will simplify, of course. And let's see. Let's see how this feels. I think I can. I can merge them. I can merge them for sure. And obviously I will simplify it as well. Now, Nanite works best with less triangles. That's what we know. Sorry, not less triangles. Like more modular pieces, smaller in size. Let's go here and align. Is this align here? Oh, there you go. Align. And let's try it out. Come on, really? Yeah, intersection. Yeah, let's go on that. And obviously we will go here and deform lattice and 3 by 3 by 3 cubic. Grab this. Let's just add some irregularities to this. I'm not exactly sure if this will work, but it works. It worth trying. And before I completely decide if this is a good choice or not, let me just change the material, because this is saturation is okay, just the brightness is, yeah. Just eyeball it. Yeah, just like that. And now we can look at that. I kind of like it. I kind of like it, really. Just need to move this thing like here. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a fresh air here. Just a little bit. And obviously you can go here and sculpt on this landscape. So that is not so obvious. Wow, this one has a lot of triangles. Let me take a look at this. This should have a lot. Actually, 200 for this, not that much. It's okay. It's okay, let's... change it here and move it to the right location. Like later on when we put more assets, it's gonna be looking better, but for now, just keep it like this. Move here. cool stuff. Also, we need to apply. Oh, and this one, obviously. And this warp material, we need to take it out. We need to take it out. We don't want it. Modeling, go mesh, attributes, edit materials. This one here, just gonna delete those. I think select all. And then assign active material. And you don't need to worry about those intersections. Yeah. I kind of like it. Let's work on the ground later in the next session. Still need quite a lot of time. But I kind of like it. It's a little bit of a messed up feeling. Let's try it out and let's compare to what we had before. Definitely good progress. And before I do that, when I click on the landscape, just rebuild the data so that we can see all those nice displacement happening here. There you go. Yeah, actually the cobblestone here is really working. I'm even tempted to just duplicate this. Yeah, definitely we need more assets, but the ground has got quite a remake. Let's take a look at this screenshot. Yeah. Look at that. Actually, we can even try to find the same shot here. It's very nice. It's very nice. This part is a little bit funny, but anyway, I'm really tired, so we're gonna wrap it up. Take another screenshot just so that we can take a look at the progress later. Let's make this one big. A cobblestone was a good idea. Definitely a good idea. I think next I'm gonna work on the wood for this, and let's see. I mean, just treat it like a painting and just work on it little by little. Oh, we're already having quite a good progress here. Yeah, I like it. I like it. The ground is quite an important asset. Even you have those walls without the ground, it's kind of funny. Anyway, let's save it, and I will wrap the stream. Thank you so much for coming. Hope you enjoyed the stream, learned something new, perhaps, or whatever is it that you're looking for here. I will stream this game, maybe not tomorrow, but a few extra days to work on this. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And we will see you next time. Bye.